All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, May 1st. We got two NBA playoff games to dive into in today's video. Like we always do, I'm going to dive into each and every one of these games. I'm going to give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like in the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment. That'll take you to all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, it's absolutely free down in the pinned comment. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I tell you guys I'm a dummy all the time. They don't suck. They've just been sucking. Get them down to -3 for more juice than Jose Canseco in his prime. Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. So don't go jumping down my throat in the comments, right? If you want to fade me, or if you do want to ride me, this still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, right? And remember, more chins, more wins. So yesterday, we had a little action on that Timberwolves and Lakers game. We had the over. That doesn't come through. But then we had an SGP involving Luka and LeBron, and that does cash. So obviously end up losing a little bit off the top with the juice. A 1-1 night. Not going to write home about it. Not going to cry about it either. Not the best. Not the worst. Is what it is. But yeah, I like a couple spots on today's slate. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button as well. Really do appreciate all the support as of late. I know I keep saying it, but it keeps, being true. Like, I don't know what you want me to do here. I am super appreciative of what we are doing here on the channel and the support you guys are showing as we make these videos each and every day. But let's go ahead and dive into game number one. Detroit taking on New York. So the Knicks up 3-2 in this series. Detroit stealing that last one. What a close game. I mean, New York kind of had to battle back into and whatnot, but what we have on the board today is the Knicks and Detroit, in Denver and the Clips. Like, this is the best. This is the two best games, two best series, I should say, that we've had in the playoffs so far. So very excited for it. I think I'm going to lean Knicks in this spot for a couple different reasons. Now, Knicks isn't even my favorite spots. We'll start there. I do still think that the Knicks are the more talented team, and down late in the game when they end up being able to kind of piece it all together and they don't just do the Brunson show, I think that they should be able to beat this Detroit team who plays good defense, but Bridges missed a couple crucial shots. Brunson, even though I just said he needs to pass the ball and whatnot, he missed a couple crucial shots. Towns kind of got it going late in the game, though. But all I really want is this offense to be more fluid, because you've seen the series, right? There are times when the Knicks look like they can score at ease against this Detroit team. They're drawing fouls, all these crucial plays. And then in some of these losses, the two that we've seen so far, it's almost like they short circuit and that offense kind of goes out the window. They're not passing it around and whatnot. So I still stand by the talent discrepancy is there. Is Detroit a really young, athletic, talented, hungry team? Yeah, I would say that for certain. Cade, Duren, you have Thompson. Like, this team is very good and will be very good. But in a game when their back is against the wall, they showed a little fight last game. I don't think that they do it 2 games in a row. But like I said, that's not even really like the main thing that I'm looking at in this one. I like the over, honestly, as what I would mainly consider. 212.5. I've seen this at 213 already this morning. I think that this has been the case of, getting close to this number, but Detroit hasn't really shot the ball that well. Like, out of the 5 games they've played, I think 3 of them they've shot in the 20s when it comes to, points, or 3-point percentage. So it's like, yeah, they're really not shooting the ball well whatsoever, right? All we need is for them to shoot, I guess, kind of like they did in that game that was the game that soared over. I think it was like game 3 or whatever, right? They shot 35% from 3, something like that, 48% from the floor, something that's a little bit more doable. Because again, I think the Knicks have the offensive talent, and as long as their offense kind of moves and it's not just the Brunson show, which I know how good Brunson is. We've had some Knicks fans in the comments. I get it. People are like, no, he's the guy. Late in these games, and maybe this is just coming from like a basketball nerd, it's frustrating to watch Brunson, dribble it up the court, back the guy down, take like a little, bump the shoulder, mid-range jumper that he makes 50% of the time. That's really good, and it's good basketball. 50% is a great percentage, but late in the game, all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, Detroit lets you do it. And now it's like, we're not going to get that, and all of a sudden, the rest of the guys are cold. I don't know, just my take on it. I like Brunson. Like I said, he's my best friend. We dapped up at a game once, and that was the extent of our relationship, but I would classify it as best friends. But to me, Knicks should be able to get theirs. They should be able to score. I'm thinking Detroit shoots a little bit better, especially from 3. We've seen a lot of driving kicks where they've missed shots, whether it's Hardaway or Beasley out there. if they hit their threes, this thing soars over. And the Knicks haven't really been and weren't the best perimeter defense in general this season, right? So I like the over, again, a lot more than I do the side. And then a player prop that I'm probably looking to roll with here would be OG Anunoby over 4.5 rebounds. He's had 12 rebound chances in the last 2 games. Earlier in the series, he did hit this twice as well, so he's 3-2 to the over here. The 2 games that he didn't, you had Hart down there. This is a tough rebounding team in general on the Pistons side of things, but whether he's got the Thompson matchup or the Tobias Harris matchup, I think it's going to keep him somewhat close to the hoop. Tobias Harris and Thompson, kind of guys that like that little around the paint, whatnot, offensively. Obviously, Harris, if he gets going, will take the threes, but nonetheless, I still like him to go out there and get 5 rebounds for us for some decent odds. This is minus 140 on MGM. You're probably thinking, oh my God, that's super juicy, right? While it is, and I'm not going to deny that, on Caesars, minus 154. On MGM, minus 155. FanDuel, minus 158. So you're getting 10 cents of value over on, it looks like on DK. So yeah, OG Anunoby over 4.5 rebounds. Again, I like the over. That's probably going to be a final play. And I would lean slightly towards the Knicks. I still do think that they have the more talent, and anything like this is such a weird thing to say because we've seen it go both ways this series, but the Knicks, I talk about them like they're this like talented, flashy team. This is still a Thibodeau team. They have Josh Hart and Anunoby. Like anything Detroit wants to do physically and defensively and whatnot, I think the Knicks can match and do as well, So that's why I kind of like the Knicks to close it out in this spot. I would say that they win the series, even if Detroit wins this one. We'll probably be looking at the Knicks next game if necessary. But yeah, I like the over in this spot. I think Detroit shoots a little bit better today. All right, real quick, before we do dive into game number 2, which I'm very excited about, let's go ahead and talk about sleeper picks. Jokic, 0.5 points. In a game like this, you think Jokic is going to go out there and score 1 point? I do. And you're also going to get your first deposit matched up to $100. Absolutely great deal. This is their intro. When Sleeper first came out, this was the deal that they were throwing out there. Now they've brought it back. Go check it out, guys. That link will be down in the description as well as the pinned comment, whichever is easiest for you. Go and sign up. You will not regret it. This is an amazing app, especially if you do like players and player props and feel like you're good at projecting what players will do. Check it out, guys. That link will be down below in the description as well as the pinned comment, Sleeper picks. Now, I'm very excited. Let's get going with game number 2 here. Clippers taking on Denver. Clippers now with their backs against the wall. They are in LA, though. I think that is a big, big factor. They've lost 2 straight games. They lost that game number 1 in LA, right? And then they bounced back with a really hard-fought win in game number 2. I envision something like that happening again today. Now, 6.5 points is fairly telling, right? Like, I think that most people, the books, sharps, all that, are looking at the Clippers saying, no way they go home like this, right? 6.5 is a little bit too much for me. I don't think I get there, but if there's anything we can do in terms of a same-game parlay to kind of massage this number, even if we throw Clippers in money line, I could get there because, again, I think that this Clippers team bounces back. Do I think that they absolutely put their thumb on and twist Denver and squish them? No, this Denver team is obviously very good as well. We called this series from the jump, right, that this was going to be the best, and I think it's lived up to it. This has been a series that has been decided by 1 possession in like 3 of the 5 games. Absolutely awesome. The first uninteresting game, you could make the argument was game 3, but it was coming off of that really close game 2, so it still had a little bit of that. And then same thing with the thriller with the putback buzzer beater. All of a sudden, yeah, you end up having a 16-point game in game number 4 or game number 5, but because of that game number 4, it's like you don't really view it as a blowout. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just like, again, geeked up about this damn series because I have had so much fun watching it. And usually, being on the East Coast, these late ones, especially when they're starting super late now, I'm usually like, oh my God, like this is brutal. These games have had me on the edge of my seat. So yeah, I think the Clippers win this one. I think they bring that intensity and defensive intensity today. I will say the Clippers leading is going to kind of lead into a player prop. I think the Nuggets chase a little bit, but if they are chasing, what I mean by that is that they need to score in bunches and whatnot. I really like the idea of Jamal Murray over 19.5 points. Is it the best time to be looking at, him after he just dropped, 40-something in game number 5? Maybe not, but what I'm really taking a peek at is his shot attempts. Like, the dude has been shooting the ball nearly 20 times in this series, and over his last 10 games against the Nuggets, so dating back to, in the I want to say actually dating back to last year, he's hit this in 8 of 10, averaging 23 points per game. One time he didn't, he had 18. Okay, so one more bucket he cashes, and the other time was in game number 4 of this series in which he shot like 20% from 3, 30% from the field. Just a bad shooting night. So as long as he gets his attempts, which it's clear he's going to get, and he shoots a decent percentage, I think Jamal Murray makes some threes tonight and has a good scoring night. I did consider his over 2.5 3-pointers made. He's been crushing that as well, but he ends on 2 a lot. So the plus, I think it was like plus 115. That wasn't enough. This is like plus 120. I think we might have been able to pull the trigger. So I like the Clips. I'll say Clippers minus 6.5, but again, I kind of want to get to a better number than that. I also like Jamal Murray over in points. What do we do from a total perspective? I've gone back and damn forth in this one. I would say that, at the end of the game, I would say first half under almost. Both teams come out super, super defensive and conservative and whatnot, but I do think that we see some scoring late in the game, especially given the fact that if Denver is winning, the Clippers season is on the line, they're going to want to run, right? They know that they can outrun Jokic, even though the Denver team is probably the more fast-paced team, which is crazy to say, than the Clippers. The Clippers still have a couple guys that can run, right? So I think that this one ultimately finishes over, but I kind of like a first half under. Is that crazy? Not sure. We'll see what we end up rolling with as a final play. Make sure to keep an eye on the pinned comment, taking you to the Guy Boston Sports site for the final plays. But yeah, just to recap that game, I think we would go Clippers. If we had to do minus 6.5, sure. I like Jamal Murray a lot over 19.5 points, though, and then maybe an over. But there's something about that first half I think is going to be a really hard-fought one overall. And by the way, yeah, we forgot to put the arrow up. So there it is. We're talking about this game right now. But guys, that is going to wrap it up. Obviously, just 2 games. Very quick NBA video, but I've been loving the NBA playoffs. I keep saying it at the end of videos, and I'm sure it sounds corny and old. It's getting old. But man, oh man, like, I don't know. Maybe it happens every year and I forget about the previous year, but this seems like we've had some of the best games to consume in like a couple years or something. Obviously, every playoff run has some good games, but like these two series especially, like, have made the playoffs worth it. Just them, you know what I mean? So yeah, and my Boston Celtics advancing. But nonetheless, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment 12 if you made it this far into the video. We'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.